everyone, it's Sevy, and this video is long overdue, but back then when I posted my unboxing silver play button, I asked for your questions, and now I'm going to answer them. I'm just gonna be playing Genshin in the background. It's my weeklies, my dailies, my farming, and some Yoimiya content. So anyway, you guys gave me a lot of questions to answer, so let's just dive right in. Carlum Shake asked, are you that Genshin guy girl on YouTube? Yes. Yes, I am. That is me. Atsu, or you might know him as Asian Guy Stream, asked, would you rather fight 1,000 Paimon-sized Sevys or 10 Sevy-sized Paimons? This is a tough question because both are slightly terrifying, but I would rather fight 1,000 Paimon-sized Sevys because if that ever happens, or if I ever just encounter 1,000 of me, whatever size, I'm just going to convince them to form an a cappella group with me. And then, you know, more music. Now, let's go to some Genshin-related questions. So, Juno Bombuno asked, who is your favorite character design-wise? My favorite character in Genshin design-wise is Zhongli. And I actually started playing Genshin because I saw his character design. And I was like, holy crap, I need to get in on this game. I need that man. I need that beautiful, beautiful man on my account with a beautiful, beautiful voice. So, you know, I would not be here today making Genshin Impact content if Zhongli did not exist. Probably. Gokul Chola asked, what character demo did you love the most? Zhongli, definitely. Honestly, for me, nothing beats it because like it is so iconic, the build up, the aesthetic, the look, and then when the electric guitar jumps in with a yeah, nothing, honestly nothing serotonin wise beats that. Skylar Hex asked, I just want to ask who you will kiss, marry, and kill. Genshin Impact Daddy voice version. Okay. Ayato, Dainsleif, or Zhongli? After thinking long and hard about this, I decided that I would kiss Ayato, marry Zhongli, and then kill Dainsleif because he's been alive for too long. Give the man a rest. Abakil Roderick asked, what is your biggest feature you want to be implemented or bettered for Genshin? Artifact loadouts. I say this like so many times on each of my streams. I want artifact loadouts. Paimon the Travel Buddy, hello, asked, usually I'd see you use the English voiceover on Genshin. May I know your reason why? Will you try to use the Japanese voiceover if some time comes? Okay, so I use the English voiceover of Genshin when I play because I like to be able to play the game even with only half my attention. And that includes, and that means me being able to easily understand the dialogue. Unfortunately, I don't understand Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. So would I try the Japanese voiceover? I would. And I actually did turn it on at some point because I wanted to hear Bennett say Bokken de Bokken. Mario S asked, how do you keep up your interest in Genshin for so long? So I'm kind of an obsessive player when it comes to games or like anything in general, whether it's books, series, movies. And I have an easier time sticking to a handful of games rather than playing so many games all at once. And at this point, Genshin is familiar, it's comfortable, and I like that. I like comfort. Let's talk about some personal questions. Sean Nguyen asked, where would you like to travel? I would like to travel to Japan, Korea, and New Zealand so that I can visit Hobbiton. I want to see Bag End, come on. Dame Pipes asked, do you have a comfort go-to food before and after streams? Yes, I do. It is milk tea. Some of you might call it boba tea. And my go-to order is either wintermelon flavor or Thai milk tea with nata de coco and 0% sugar. Pierce Luke asks, I always want to ask if you're a Filipino citizen. I get this question a lot. I get asked a lot if I'm Filipino. Yes, I am Filipino, born and raised in the Philippines, still living in the Philippines, and a Filipino citizen. And I kind of still get surprised when people ask me if I'm Filipino because I put it in every description or bio of each of my social media profiles. As in, it's on my YouTube channel description. If you expand the description of every YouTube video I upload, it's written there in the description. It's in my Twitch About section. It's in my Twitter and Instagram bios. Like, I literally put it everywhere. so that people don't mix up my nationality or where I'm from. What was the first game you ever played? Or your favorite? Ganyu asked. The first game I can ever remember playing is Pokemon Crater. And it was this really old game that you played on browser. And every time you wanted to move a square or a tile, you would have to refresh the browser page. And I was playing this on dial-up internet. I don't know, I was like 6 at the time or something. Yeah, and I tried it out and I was like, wow, yay, Pokemon browser, and you can see other people's sprites on the same page. But if you mean the first game I ever mained or like played obsessively, then it was Minecraft. Minecraft was like the only game I played for several years, and up to now, it still lives rent-free in my head. What made you start gaming in the first place? See, I don't really consider myself a gamer because I was never competitive about it. I'm not a huge variety gamer. I didn't have a lot of consoles to try out, so I don't have much exposure to it. So like when I say I have skill issue, it's because I spent most of my life either not playing games or I'd be playing Minecraft, in which I found as a creative outlet, not like an improve your combat skill and reflexes kind of game. Why did I start gaming in the first place? I guess for content, because I wanted to make content. I like making content, and because it's fun. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes it can be stressful, like when I want to be good at a game, but then like I find out that it's harder than I thought, and I do have a tendency to get frustrated there. But when I do find a game that I love, I will stick to it for like hours and hours in a day. Shanfei asked, if you could give past Sevy, the Sevy who just started content creation / streaming, some advice, what would it be? And I think very simply, I would say always be ready to improve. Content creation is something that you always want to keep getting better at, especially if you want to do it for a living. I would have told my past self that it's gonna be hard and you have to keep working. Avon Delay asked, how do you deal with your problems and struggles in life? I don't, but thank you for believing that I do. And does playing video games help you cope with these kinds of topics? My main coping mechanism is distracting myself. So whether that's Netflix or books or gaming. So yes, it technically does help me cope with life. Next, we have some questions that are related to YouTube and streaming as like a career. Jubair Islam, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, asked, are you still a student? Thankfully, I won't be anymore very, very soon. I'm finishing my last units of classes at university, and after that, I won't have any more classes. DM Shadow asked, how do you balance out your studies and streaming gaming? How do you not get burned out from everything you're doing? When it comes to school, I'm thankfully one of those people that got good at school from an early age. Both of my parents were professors. They kind of created this environment where if I didn't excel in school, I was doing something wrong. I learned how to like hack it. Like I learned how to, always just go by what the teacher wants, pick up whatever knowledge is going to be tested so that when it comes to exams or papers or grades, I'm like your annoying classmate who will only study for a test the night before and still get a decent grade. When I started content creation, I intentionally reallocated any extra study time into making content, into streaming. And I still got good grades. And this isn't meant to be a brag, but like that is my honest answer on how I balance school and content creation. I got good at school, so the bigger challenge is to get good at content creation. On the burnout topic, that is another thing. My thing with burnout is that I'm more likely to get burnout from frustration or failures rather than getting bored of something. When I do hit a burnout bump, I usually cope or I get over it by spending time with loved ones or touching grass or going out, watching Netflix, or just doing something that I wouldn't usually do just to break the routine. I know that the urge to create content will come back eventually. That might mean that I have not yet truly encountered burnout. If and when I do, I will probably talk about it. Vishu Gautam asked, are you a full-time Genshin streamer or do you have some work on the sidelines too? What is a dream job you wish you had? Alright, I don't currently have any other work. I did previously take like a side writing job where I would just get paid for like ghostwriting stuff. When I finish class, I'm just going to be trying YouTube and streaming full-time and see if it works out. As for my dream job, okay, when I was young, I thought that I wanted to be a scientist. And then I eventually realized that, I kind of like the arts a lot. And so I started doing theater. And then I realized, I'm not sure if theater is for me. At the same time, I was also singing a lot. So I was like, will I eventually one day record an album, become a singer, become an artist? And now I'm here doing content creation. And right now, I don't see myself doing anything else, nor do I really want to do anything else at the moment. So if that passes as a description of a dream job, then I guess that's it. Chills Mapu Web. If you had to choose, would you rather quit YouTube or would you rather quit Genshin? And I would rather quit Genshin because you can make YouTube content out of anything. Tenha asked, who's your inspiration when it comes to content creation? Thank you for this question, Tenha. All right, honestly, I didn't really have an inspiration until recently when I started taking content creation seriously. And right now, my favorite creator, whom I guess is also an inspiration, like does inspire me to get better, is Drew Gooden. Like, I have watched most of his videos, if not all. His videos are so well written and they always make me laugh. They always make me feel better. And I didn't realize until I started watching his content and videos and how the way he talks about entertainment, I didn't really realize how much skill and writing and effort goes into comedy. And see, comedy for me has always been this elusive thing. Like, are you the class clown? Are you not? Are you funny? Are you not? Or like I always thought that it has to be something you're innately born with. And of course, like if you're innately born with it, it's definitely going to help. But I also realized eventually that it's something you can get better at if you try to. That was a big thing for me because one day I hope to be as brilliantly entertaining as that in some way or another. Danny Satsuna asked, how do you decide to pull for certain characters and how the character's Halavi pulls plays into your decision? And how this helps you review all the characters for us without spending too much. Okay, so if you didn't know, in about the first year of creating Genshin content, my partner and editor, Mr. Halavi, and I would alternate pulling on certain characters so that we don't spend too much trying to get every character on both of our accounts. Sometimes we just decide based on who's simping for whom. Like, since Halavi had been looking forward to Ayaka since beta, he definitely got her on her first banner, and then I skipped that banner on my account. And then I fell in love with Yoimiya at first sight, so I got her. And then sometimes we would factor in characters we already had on our accounts, which would equate to team comps that we could showcase. Equipment such as the 5-star weapons or 4-star weapons that we had. But thankfully, by now, we're earning enough that we both pull for new characters when we want to, and also to make both of our accounts more future-proof for content. So here are the longer questions, and honestly, the more profound, deeper questions. Susan Svensson asked, your channel has become my happy place in Genshin community-wise. Thank you. I really appreciate your positivity as well as your approach to keeping content relatable for all players regardless of AR and wallet size. Is this an active choice by you or is it just the way you roll? It's really the way I roll, but I also understand the value of relatable content. So I usually make content assuming that the main demographic are free-to-play or low to medium spenders or players who just started out. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people are just discovering or are just getting into Genshin Impact even though it's already been around for 2 years. Okay, what are your tips for people starting to push out content? Mini OJ asks. My tips are to be patient, continuously work on improving your craft. So that means bring in higher and higher quality content. If you're serious about content creation and you're serious about pushing out content, learning marketing strategies and treating this as an industry and treating it as a business while simultaneously treating it as a craft, which is the hard part, trying to balance both. Those will go a long way. And try not to go crazy. Probably the hardest part. Pokemonster, hello mod Pokemonster, asked, how did you get through the initial streamer phase of having small amounts of viewers or YouTube videos with small amounts of views? Do you have any advice for other content creators going through the same phase? In terms of streaming, you've probably heard this a lot if you're trying to like make it in content creation. When you're streaming, I stream on Twitch. So to funnel more viewers to your Twitch channel, you have to make content on other platforms because as of right now, discoverability on Twitch is not great. Make people discover you in other ways, which means making content on other platforms that will make those viewers visit your Twitch. All right, so you have to funnel them through. So I started my Twitch and YouTube SevyPlays at the same time. So they were kind of working in tandem. Like if a new viewer discovered me through Twitch, I'd direct them over to my YouTube. If a viewer came to YouTube, I always put my Twitch link in the description or in the pinned comment so that they would come to my Twitch. And once my YouTube channel started getting more viewers, once that picked up, my Twitch started picking up as well. As for how the YouTube content picked up, basically, I followed the algorithm. And even as a smaller creator, like that to me, that was a conscious decision that I had to make, riding on trends in your particular niche. In my case, the Genshin niche. So that was new characters, new banners, Spiral Abyss content. And I also tried to be as consistent as possible so that my content was easier to notice. So honestly, if you're starting out as a streamer, YouTube Shorts are a great content form to use to complement that. You can make shorts out of your stream, post it on YouTube, and hope that the algorithm picks it up. Or if you're really dedicated to long-form videos or mid-length videos, mid-form videos, then it's a lot of work, but it can really pay off. Abaquiel Roderick asked, will you evolve your channel to more guides about other games or will it stay Genshin for a long time? Making content for other games is a risky investment for me because I cemented myself as a Genshin channel. I'm kind of okay with that, like I made that the conscious decision, but in the long term, I do want to bring in more games to my channel or even like my side channel. For example, I'm very interested in the upcoming Hoyoverse games like Honkai Star Rail, anime RPGs that you've seen getting teased and stuff. But until I find the right game for me to hop onto and make content on that I both enjoy playing and enjoy making content on, and that has good potential for current and future audiences, then until that happens, I'm mainly going to be making Genshin content. I'm okay with that. I still enjoy the game. I still like playing the game, and I know that a lot of you still like playing it too. But who knows, you know, I might just start making Minecraft content for the lols. Cree or Cry H asked, to the best of my knowledge, you are the only female Genshin content creator that makes character guides. What inspired you to start making guides despite the plethora of other content creators already making guides for Genshin Impact? Also, do you follow any particular philosophy in how you make your guides to set them apart from those made by other content creators? Me being the only female Genshin guide maker is actually what motivated me to start in the first place. It's not necessarily because being a woman would inherently mean my content is significantly different. Okay, that's not at all where I'm coming from, but that motivated me because I think we need more women and representation even in the gaming guide making space. There are a lot of wonderful women in the playthrough, streaming, and casual Genshin niche, so I wanted to try out making content in the guide niche. You know, the fact that there were no prominent female Genshin guide content creators, it would be great to have one, so why not just be that person? I would say it turned out well. So you know, women in Genshin, don't be afraid to try out guide making, and if you are a woman making gaming guides, then just let me know in the comments. As for making my guides stand out or become set apart from others, the key thing is that I want my content to be as digestible as possible. So that means being simple, straightforward, but still trying to wrap around key concepts and mechanics in the game. Soccer Nerd 27 asked, what target audience did you envision? Was it always your goal to find that sweet spot in between theory crafting and casual? Okay, this is a good question. So my initial goal was to make guides for casual players, But at some point I realized that like I personally lacked some understanding of theory crafting concepts. I worked harder at learning theory crafting concepts, and then that greatly influenced how I would create and analyze guides. Thankfully, there is a whole character development arc that happened there, and hopefully you can see as well that my content has very much improved since last year when I was just starting out. So, like, of course, I want my guides to still be as digestible as possible to a wide variety of players, including casual players very much so. But I want the information to correspond with the theory crafting perspective as well, because it has to be grounded in something. Layodster asked, what editing software do you use to make all your clean edits, and how long does a video take to edit? So I use Filmora. Please sponsor me, Wondershare Filmora. Pretty please. Sevy, my main editor, does his job, and he does it well. Okay, just the editing process of a guide video usually takes like 4 to 6 hours, but that's assuming that all the footage is ready. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Regine Borginia asked, could you walk us through your process when creating content, from ideas all the way to getting uploaded on your channel? Another big question, and this is going to be the last question. So I'm mostly going to limit my scope to guide videos or voiceover videos since those are mainly what I do, and then stream highlight edits are a different process. And I'll also say at this point that my partner Sevy is very much involved in all phases of this process. When I have a video idea, I evaluate it. Is it something that people might want to watch, or will they want to watch it? Is there enough material to talk about? Is there enough stuff to talk about? Do I have an opinion or a stand on it that I want to share or that I want to argue? Or am I just explaining a concept, and do I understand it well enough to actually explain it well? I also ask, like, will I just be repeating what others have already said? Or can I offer something unique from my end in terms of content? All of these questions are very important, because if in the idea stage there is a problem already, then there's going to be a problem with the rest of the video. Anyway, once I get past all these questions, then comes the research and testing phase. So, you know, with guide videos, you do need information. Some videos require more research than others, but regardless, it needs to be based on information. And once we have all that information, then that's when we outline the script, write out the entire script, because yes, I do write scripts so that I can read from it straight, and then we polish it. And as we're writing, we have to fact check the info all throughout. And to help with that is my theory crafter friend Migo, who's linked in the description of all my guide videos. And then after that comes the editing phase, which my editor Sevy basically carries, and again, he does his job very well. And while that happens, I cook up a thumbnail and title, or at least thumbnail and title ideas. They honestly take plenty of attempts that often get scrapped before we settle on the final title and thumbnail, and it's because the title and thumbnail of a video are very crucial. People who know content creation, they always say that you can have a banger video, but if no one's gonna click on it, no one's gonna watch it. But that's generally the process that we go through. Maybe in the future, that process is going to change. Hopefully it can be optimized or it can be improved in some way, but that's how it goes for the meantime. And so far, it's working out well. Those are all the questions that I'm going to answer for this video, because there were a lot of questions. Let me know if any of my answers surprised you or something. I don't know, maybe something you didn't expect. And if you enjoy this type of content, I do stream. Again, you can find my Twitch link, and you'll hear me talk a lot on stream. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you all soon. Take care.